Hello everyone, my name is Stephanie with I Jump Instead on YouTube, and I'm here to talk about how to install a handlebar on your JumpSport Rebounder. I'm also going to talk about the importance of having a handlebar on your unit throughout all of your workouts. So let's get right into it. First, I'm going to introduce this unit here. This is a 44-inch Pro unit, and this is a quick release handlebar. This is the wide quick release handlebar. There are two sizes to choose from. There's a narrow and then there's a wide. The narrow are going to go on two legs and the wide is going to have a leg in between. If you have a foldable JumpSport, you just need to make sure that when you install your handlebar, the legs of the handlebars are surrounding the hinge, okay? We have this standard handlebar, and this handlebar is locked in as the legs of your unit. So this handlebar is not easy to put on and take off. So when you are choosing a handlebar, if you choose the standard wide or narrow, it's not going to be easy to take off and put on every day. You're going to need to just leave the handlebar on your unit. So if that's your plan, to leave the handlebar on your unit, then I would definitely recommend the standard handlebar, whether it be narrow or wide. The quick release handlebar clasps on to the legs that are already attached to the rebounder, which makes it very easy and very convenient. And I actually recommend the quick release handlebar if it fits into your budget. It is more convenient. You can take it off whenever you want to, and it leaves your unit available to set up against a wall, and it's more space efficient that way. So let's talk about the narrow bar versus the wide bar. The narrow bar is going to sit just out of your rebounding space, okay? So it's gonna sit on the outside of your unit. There's pros and cons to that. For me, it means I'm gonna be reaching a little bit farther away than I prefer. The wide bar comes into my territory, comes into my space. What a handlebar does is it forces us to face the bar, to face one direction for the most part. Of course, we can move around and look in all different directions, but really it enables us to face one direction, use the bar, and perform our moves and perform our workouts. So when you install your bar, you want to make sure that the emblem on your unit is where you want it, so when you look down, it's facing the direction you desire. I chose my JumpSport emblem to face the camera so then you can see it. But if I were to be looking down and just in my own studio and jumping on my JumpSport, I would have installed the handlebar here. So then I look down and I see the logo the way I want it. So just keep that in mind. You can always move it if it's not in place right now. It's easy to move once, but that's just something to keep in mind when you initially install your handlebar. So if I have a narrow handlebar on my unit, I feel like I'm kind of reaching for it. And when it comes to rebounding and why I believe you need to have a handlebar on your unit at all times, I personally wish that I could have a handlebar here, 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 and here, and here. You know why? Because this is a resistance mat and we can hold anywhere where there is support, and we can put that resistance mat to work and build muscle, symmetrical flexibility throughout our entire body. When you have the opportunity of holding on to something other than your handlebar, you realize, dang, I wish this was a handlebar. Or if you were to have a cord hanging from your ceiling and you could hold it and you can bounce, you'll find yourself being creative. And then the next thing you know, you're going, oh, I wish I had a handlebar up here because I can lean back and I can pump down and I can shift my weight and get activation into a new position, and I can perform more moves, I can build more muscle, I can build more symmetry, I can get stronger in different angles, I can shift my core and do all kinds of different core angles and core strengthening exercises because I have a bar. Even being able to put this bar down to here, I could sit underneath the bar and I can hold the bar and I can lift my legs and do all kinds of things with the bar here. So the fact that we have lots of different levels for putting this bar, it opens up opportunities to access a resistance and get creative with jumping, get creative with rebounding. And speaking of putting the bar in the perfect position for just leaving it in place for the most part here. The best place to put it, in my opinion, is right at the belly button. I prefer the wide bar. I prefer the quick release bar, but the standard wide bar is excellent. This is a 44 inch. I don't have a preference between the 39 and the 44, but I do have a preference, and that's the Pro units, because the mats are a little bit firmer. The non-Pro bounces, in my experience, are slow and they're long. And with the Pro mat and with the Pro bounce, it's firmer, and I can really access more resistance, a more firm, higher resistance bounce, a more higher resistance experience, and it keeps my ankles and knees and hips in better alignment. If you choose to join our workouts, I encourage you to get a Pro unit. I encourage you to get a wide bar. It can be the standard or the quick release bar. It can be the 39 inch or the 44 inch Pros, anything that you want. And installation of the legs and the handlebar is very straightforward. As you see in these clips, you are one step away from having a pumping station, a muscle station, an activation station, a walking station, a leg elevation station. One more move that we can do with a handlebar is we can elevate our legs. We can just lay down comfortably on our rebounder, elevate the legs, relax, and this is excellent. There are so many benefits to leg elevation, and we can do that with a handlebar. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in more routines, the link's down below. Please give this video a like if you liked it. Comment below, give us your feedback. Tell us if you use a handlebar on your unit, why you like and prefer a handlebar, or maybe why you prefer to not have a handlebar. We are open for any and all feedback. Thanks again for watching, and we hope to see you in class soon. Bye-bye.